Is not shocking enough, watch to see what happened to this pregnant woman. In the heart of the snowy Minnesota wilderness, Mary Kranick, heavily pregnant, found herself stranded during a fierce winter storm. Her SUV, which was her protection against the elements, suddenly gave out just miles from her home. As the storm raged on, Mary faced a daunting decision. Alone in the snow-covered forest, with visibility reduced to near zero, Mary knew she couldn't wait for help. The cold seeped through her clothes, and the onset of labor added urgency to her situation. Despite the risks, she resolved to walk toward the city, hoping to find assistance before it was too late. With each step, the snow seemed to conspire against her, the wind howling like a warning of nature's power. Her breaths came in ragged gasps, her body weary from the effort and the cold. Yet the thought of her unborn child kept her going, a beacon of hope in the storm. Just when despair threatened to overwhelm her, Mary spotted a lone tree ahead. With determination, she pushed forward, seeking refuge under its sparse branches. Collapsed against the tree's trunk, Mary's thoughts raced. She prayed for help, her whispered words carried away by the wind. It was then that Mary felt the onset of labor. Panic threatened to consume her, but she fought against it, focusing on the task at hand. She knew she had to stay calm for her sake and for the child she carried. As the contractions grew stronger, Mary's world shrank to the pain and the cold. She gritted her teeth, willing herself to endure, to hold on until help arrived. But with each passing moment, the storm seemed to intensify, as if nature itself conspired to test her resolve. In the midst of this struggle, a sound cut through the howling wind, a low guttural growl that sent shivers down Mary's spine. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest, unsure if it was friend or foe that approached. To her surprise, a gray wolf emerged from the swirling snow, its eyes fixed on her with an intensity that held her captive. Behind it, a pack of wolves stood, their forms blending with the winter landscape. Mary's mind raced with fear and wonder. Wolves were not uncommon in these parts, but their sudden appearance felt like a twist in her already unbelievable ordeal. She had heard stories of their intelligence and loyalty, but she also knew to be cautious of their wildness and unpredictability. Yet as the lead wolf drew closer, its gaze never leaving her, Mary sensed something different. The wolf seemed to understand her plight, its body language a silent reassurance in the chaos. Minutes passed in a tense standoff, the storm raging around them as if waiting for the scene to unfold. Mary dared not move, her instincts warring between flight and trust. Then with a cautious step, the lead wolf approached Mary, its movements deliberate and non-threatening. It seemed to communicate without words, a primal connection that went beyond human-animal boundaries. The pack, sensing their leader's intent, formed a protective circle around Mary, their presence a shield against the storm's fury. In the shelter of the wolves, Mary's labor progressed, each contraction proving her resilience and the beauty of life in the midst of adversity. The wolves, far from the savage predators we've heard them to be, acted with gentleness. They watched over Mary, their breaths forming misty clouds in the cold air, a surreal scene showcasing nature's grace. As Mary brought her child into the world, with the wolves as her unexpected witnesses, a sense of awe enveloped her. The baby's first cries mingled with the howling wind, creating a beautiful sound of life in the wilderness. The wolves, their eyes bright with curiosity and perhaps something more, offered silent approval to this new addition to the circle of life. When help finally arrived, summoned by Mary's husband and a group of concerned neighbors, the scene that greeted them defied explanation. Mary, cradling her newborn, was surrounded by a